Today we'll go into the wisdom part. We are in chapter 11, after death choices and mechanics of transition. This is from the book The Eternal Validity of the Soul, SETH speaks. So far we are understanding the probabilities, the combinations, and the techniques that are involved in transition, reincarnation, and how the process goes on, and how the soul plans its lessons, right? So, uh, so today we will understand more about it. So here, Seth Master, in the last session, we have ended at point that there are some souls who get exception, like they can choose, um, they have the freedom, they can choose either to take birth or not, or to take in another realm, to take birth in another dimension. But these are those souls who have finished their incarnations in a particular system in earth, on earth, this probable system. So they are enlightened souls, they are aware souls, and these souls, they do have some power in them. So again, if they wish to take birth on earth, in this system, so some powers, or some powers, they are in dormant, and whenever they want, they can tap to their powers. But yeah, they do, awareness also exists in in souls, in that particular type of souls. And coming to Seth Master says, the self that decides upon reincarnational existence is the same self who chooses experience within the probable system. So we are same. The self that decides upon reincarnation. So it's not someone who decides our birth, who plans our birth. It's it's us, so it's alone. So we alone, we plan our life, we plan our birth, all the process or the life, all the experiences. So we plan here, and this is the same self, is the same self which decides to reincarnate, and this is the same self who experiences within this probable system, within the whatever the system it has planned in. So it is the same self. So it's a, like, we have to understand it uh, clearly, like only we are responsible for our birth, right? The structure of personality within the system is quite different. So here, within this system, this personality is quite different from the personality, we can say, like the consciousness, or that part is this completely different, right? um, we play according to, here we plan according to this particular system, according to the rules, according to the dharma, or whatever the assumptions of this particular system. So the personality with which you are familiar, or but one variety of the many forms of awareness available to you, we know we are multidimensional beings. So the personality, the structure is, maybe we are familiar, but we should not think like only we are existing only in this physical form. We might be existing in a non-physical form as well. Oh, understand? So we can exist in non-physical form as well as in the physical form. And here in this particular system, maybe in different dimension, in different particular, in any different way, like And also here, uh, maybe in this particular system also, we might take in different forms, in different consciousness. Like we used to hear in childhood that there will be just like us, there will be 7 people on this planet. So 7, similar to us. So that means, we take in different, it's not like, it's not compulsory, but there is a chance that we do take in different forms, in different consciousness, right? So Seth Master says these are like, we need to have a clear understanding about it. We are the one who decides this birth, and we are the and this particular system, at this particular system we plan everything, and this structure is different from the structure what it has planned. It has planned means the consciousness is different, and here we try to plan according to this system. And uh, and next, the next belief system, that these are the belief system we have to understand. So if at any contrast of this, of the whatever Seth Master says, we have to correct it, we have to reprogram it. And here no one is else is planning, and we take in different forms. Not only so, myself, not, I'm not existing in only this physical form, so I might be there, and yes, I am there in different dimensions, in different forms. So that's the reason we are multidimensional beings. And as well, in this particular system also, we may like exist in different consciousness. So all actions will be happening simultaneously. It's not like one after the other. All the actions is happening simultaneously. If you take out this particular life of mine, so whatever happened, whatever it is happening, or whatever will happen in future, everything is existing. Every scene, every particular scene is existing here according to my inner self, according to my knowledge. I choose the realities. Okay. So therefore, on the other hand, we exist in both systems. So this is happening simultaneously, it's not like one after the other. So uh, all my consciousness and here is acting simultaneously. Okay. And also the self which has planned this birth. So here one more interesting thing is, a portion of the whole self, a portion of our whole self focuses in reincarnational cycles. Okay. Look at ourselves. So that's why we should not limit to our body, we should not limit to our birth. We are something great. Look at here, a portion of ourself which it will focus on reincarnational cycles, and handles development there. So what it will plan, okay, it will plan. So what are the what it handles, what the reincarnation which I had take. So this portion of self, it handles each and every development, and another portion focuses in probabilities and handles development there. um, See, like a dough, okay, like something, a flow, a dough. So some portion will be planning this birth and all. Some portion will be planning, will be seeing the probabilities, will be handling development and all. Okay. So not the whole self we take birth, but some of our portion remains in the soul's realm, consciousness. It's called consciousness. See how vast we are. We are handling there, we are handling here, and we are some and at some other dimension, some other personality. So everything is one. It's like consciousness. So uh, like uh, it is planning. So one portion of myself is planning the probabilities, is planning according to this birth or according to something. So it's everything, wherever we take, it's for the growth, it's for the development, for evolution. So that portion plans the probabilities, and one portion takes care of the reincarnational self. So here, so there is also a probable system where there will be no reincarnational cycle exists. So as here we are allowed to take birth in this particular system, but there are some systems where there are no reincarnational cycle exists. So they can't repetitive births at the same probable system. So same system, there are some systems which are not allowed for to take reincarnational cycle exists and cycle with no probabilities. So there are but Seth Masters suggests that the openness and flexibility of the personality is highly important. So we have to be open, we have to be open for the flexible. We should not, some systems like they won't they some souls, they like they don't like to take rebirth, they don't like to reincarnate. There will be some different reasons, like many multiple reasons for them. So they don't want to reincarnate, and they chooses that particular system where they are that particular system where there will be no reincarnational cycle. Because when we have chosen certain system, we have to learn it completely. Unless we learn it completely, we are not allowed to other systems. Not these some souls, so they don't want to reincarnate, and they don't want to these exist, they don't want to take probabilities like combinations. So they want to be in a linear method. So same having the same lessons, repetitive lessons. But Seth must, so we have to be open and flexible of the personality is highly important. So doorways are open to all souls. So doorways are open to some personalities, but some personalities, they refuse to see them. Like here also, so as above so below. So we do have many multiple doors here, multiple doors in the sense multiple probabilities. Though everything is planned, we have the choice here, right? So we can choose, and this choice is not so easy. Everyone says, I want to change my reality, I want to change my the freedom. We do have the freedom of choice, so I want to change it. It's not it's not as easy as we say. It's changing the change to shift the reality. In order to shift the reality, we need to work on our belief systems. We need to work on our thoughts. And everything has to be reprogrammed. We need to learn the lessons. So, unless we learn at that particular phase everything, we can't change our reality. So our mind will be mind will be telling us, I don't want this reality. So rejecting that reality, non acceptance. Everyone wants to change their reality. So they feels like to change. So but unless we work on our every belief system, our belief system is so deep that even we take from our belief system is formed not only in this, but we carry some of the belief system from our past lives. Because I was told and I was shown mine that some we carry from our past life, and that's the lessons, that the imprints that the soul has taken. So those imprints, whatever the imprint the soul has taken deep, it has to clear, it has to experience that. Not in the way that it has to clear means it has to experience, it wants to experience whatever the imprints. So the soul won't chooses either it is good or bad experience. Soul is itself is a non-judgmental. Soul is non-judgmental. It won't filter. So whatever the imprints, it want to experience, and these imprints are connected to our belief system, and again to our thoughts. emotions. So in order to change the reality, yes, we have the freedom to change the reality, but in order to change the reality, we need to reprogram everything, every aspect, each and every thought, each and every emotion. You have to work on that. And it is easy to work, right? It is easy. So we need just a little awareness. With awareness and with practice, continuous practice of meditation, and of course, wisdom helps a lot. That's why we need to read books and Sajjana Sangatya. We need to discuss. So all this helps to reprogram our contrast thoughts, right? So yeah. So some systems, so they are Seth Master says their doorways are open, but these personality they refuse to see them. So even when we are open to the probabilities, when we are open to different experiences, so that's how we grow, friends. We don't limit ourselves. So in the absence of the doors, our consciousness can make a door. So see, doors are open, but in case if there is no combination of that particular type, if there is no possibility, consciousness opens the door, consciousness create it. So we are the creators. So we create different probabilities. We create not within the rule. So only you have only this number of probabilities and this number of combinations. So there is no particular rule over there. So in case there are no combinations, there are no probabilities while choosing, the soul itself creates the door. The soul itself, the consciousness, soul means a consciousness creates a door. Creates a door in the sense creates experiences, creates the combination. So we are that. So don't let us not limit ourselves, our consciousness only to this physical body, only to this particular identity. So when we limit ourselves to that particular identity, our consciousness gets limited, our consciousness shrinks. When the consciousness shrinks, we are not open to experience multiple experiences, right? So yeah, and there are guides, of course. We know this, we learned and we heard this from many masters, from books. So there are guides and teachers who explain the type and nature of existence, and they help in choosing and decision, and they explain the alternatives. So we do get guidance, we all, so all get guidance from these masters. So as all personalities are not same level of development, there are therefore advanced teachers and teachers at lower levels. So teachers at lower levels, they are not much advanced, so there are like mixed uh, mixed the teachers. So some they are at lower level, some they have high intellect, high knowledge, some teachers. And who are these teachers? Who are who acts as guides, who has already experienced, who has already already has experienced these. So they will guide, they will help. So these are the combinations you can take, this is the nature of the personality you have choose. So we design everything, right? Even we design our physical form, we design our features. So my features has to be this, we choose our color, skin color, we choose our features, everything, we choose everything. Okay, so some souls choose to recombine, mix or match events from the immediately past life. These souls, they may mix, or they choose the matching in the sense same lesson, or they can mix from the past life, from the immediate past life, they can mix, or they choose the same lesson. So and they try to overcome in different ways. So though they are same lessons, these souls plan. So these souls in sense we, all right. So we plan in different ways, to maybe the different method, but the lesson will be the same. Okay, the earth years can be experienced again, but not necessarily in continuity. So some choose contrast, some are altered. So, and just like example here, Seth Master says, just like an actor who will play an old movie in which he appeared over again in order to study it. So whatever the movie he has acted, he will see that movie, he will see the same story, he will select the same story, he will select the same, but he will the ending or the contrast, the lesson will be the same, but the pattern or the conclusion or the combination may be different. So it's like some lessons we choose the same lessons, or mix and match, we can mix everything, so all the experiences. And here in this particular case, like repetitive, the same lesson. Okay, the same lesson means here the combination, we all know that that means the soul takes help of other souls, right? Take the help of other souls in order to experience these lessons. So in this process, if it is experiencing same lessons from the immediate past life, so we need that particular souls, that particular individuals, right, to give us the same experience. But that individuals might progress in, might have progressed, or might have chosen, might have their free will, according to free will, they might have chosen the other forms. It's not necessary for us, for it's not necessary for the same combination, same souls to be in that particular life, right? The same combination. If suppose A chooses to reincarnate and A chooses to experience the same lesson from the past life, so in that past life, A might have had experience with B, C, D. Okay, B, C, D. So for this A, when he chooses this again the next birth, he need to have the combination of A, B, he need to have the combination of B, C, and D, right? But these three people, these three individuals might have chosen another life, may have chosen another pattern. So this is for immediate past life, okay? Not from the immediate past life. Now here in this particular case, what will happen? These actors, so Seth Masters, we are the actors. We are actors, yes, we are playing the role. So these actors can change their approach. These actors, they in choosing the people, a few contemporaries will join. So a few combinations, maybe not the three, B, C, D, maybe D may join. Okay, and D has his own plan. So in this D might choose to combine with A, and but A wants B and C as well. So here, in place of these two individuals, so here they are not the souls, it's the thought forms. This A will release thought forms, and we have discussed about the thought forms, right? The thought forms, or we release the thought forms depending on the strong desires. If we have certain strong desires, our consciousness releases these thought forms, and these thought forms, they don't take any physical, they are not physical, they are just projection of ourself, they are just projection of our desires, right? Here what we have studied earlier, they are just projection, they are just like a cardboard, they are just like a cardboard, they are not having any physical body. And how these, without any physical body, how they can help, how they can help us? Here, in only this particular case, these thought forms have consciousness, and they have their own reality. You understand? So these are thought forms. So in general, thought forms, they don't have any physical personality, they don't have any consciousness, they just the projection of our desires. So they, if they're having a strong desire to go to particular place, to see particular place, so we go in the thought forms. And these personalities, they are not astral bodies. Astral bodies do have consciousness, and they have they are different from the personal, from the figures of thought forms. They are just like cardboard picture. So, but here in this reincarnation, when this A is not having the combination of B and C, so this A will release a thought form of B and C, and this B has a consciousness, and it has its own reality, right? So here in this particular, so the guides will explain to him, the guides will explain to A about the nature of the personalities of the thought forms, and how they are going to participate, and about their nature, about their characters, everything the guides will explain to us. So they are not just a cardboard actors. Here Seth Master says they are not just a cardboard actors, because the projection will be like this, right? Like a cardboard picture. But here in this case, they are not the cardboard actors. So they have their own, and this A has a responsibility towards them. This A will create. So here the soul A will create these two thought forms, and these two thought forms has the reality and consciousness, and there has their own lines of development on the different levels. They will go on their own lifestyle, they will go on their own personality after A finishes. And if A finishes his life, if A has learnt his incarnation, A has done with his incarnation, and what about the thought forms that A has released? But B and C, they will continue their journey. They will continue as a, as their own. They develop on their own. They will evolve on their own. So here, and hence proved. So here, see, we are the creators, aren't we? So these thought form personalities will grow in consciousness and continue their own life of development on different levels. So Seth Master says, however, we all are thought forms, of course. He says we are all thought forms, and we have, of course, we have our initiative for actions individually and purpose. We do have our purpose. And remember here, you live from the inside out. Beautiful line, beautiful statement from the Seth Master. He says, you live from the inside out. And let's end this session with Seth Master's past life. So Seth Master also has taken incarnation on earth, just like us, in the 16th century, here in Denmark. So he's a spice merchant, right? So he's a spice merchant, and he has, and he also sells paint pigments with three of his friends in the 16th century, 1611 to 1635, and also has given two periods, 1638 to 1674. So then he was a spice merchant, and also he used to sell the paint pigments as three friends with the three friends, and see his combination. So they are the painters, they are the artists, the other three, and one is a famous artist, Van Ilver. So he is a Dutch. So here he says like his name in that past incarnation is a full, his identity is known as Frank Withers. His name is Frank Withers, Seth Master. And he says this Frank Withers is a part of his consciousness, is a part, is just a fragment personality of mine. He says it is a fragment personality. So it is on their own. This Frank Withers is on his own journey. Yeah, and so also Seth Master says, we all do leave our fragments. So here the thought forms, right? So we all do leave certain fragments, just like a children. right? So in the next session, we'll know about the suicide, about the souls who has committed, who have planned for the, not planning in the sense, but when no soul plans suicide, when it is planning is done at soul level, no soul will plan suicides. Okay, so we will get to know in the next session, right? So interesting today about not the thought forms, or not only the souls, also the thought form is very interesting for me. Right, so thank you so much. If at all you want to share anything, you can unmute yourself. I'm set.
Very nice, Sharda Garu. Wonderful wisdom. Meditation was as well beautiful. And, it's interesting to uh, listen to these wisdoms. What it is doing is it is shaking our belief systems, means our understanding. Belief system is nothing but our understanding, because it is through our belief systems that we live. So all misunderstandings of how a soul can choose its life, how the creation is happening, is being shaken up. The more we are shaken up, the more dust will fall off. So that is why we need to shake ourselves by listening such wisdoms. And even though it doesn't make sense, we know that inside it is shaking. That's why it doesn't make sense, because it is connected to something that made sense. Wrong things many times, because wrong thing in the sense limiting belief systems. Limiting means only this one. Whenever we say only this one, then it is limited. When we know that not this one, there are multiple possibilities, then we are in a open way in understanding realities. So very beautiful. And even the concept of a part of our self is planning, designing, doing all these things as well. Very beautiful. And yes, we just need to remember this. We don't need to even accept these realities as of now. The moment even we remember, our way of living changes. Our way of understanding things changes. So why constantly we are said we create our own realities? So we are constantly creating our own realities in many levels, at various levels. So very beautiful and wonderful that Seth Master had shared one of his past lives, clarifying that a part of his soul journey in this world. Yeah. So it's a free will world. Even the book from Pleiadians, Bringers of the Dawn, explains how this particular dimension, being free will dimension, there is everything possible. And yeah, wonderful to know that he was here on this earth planet, and probably he's here in some other form still.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Um, anyone else? Or okay, we'll meet the next session then. Another concept from this same chapter. So these are the techniques. So see how multiple techniques or we choose, right? So the namaste then.